Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews. Reviews from just a regular dude. Today I'm doing another my thoughts on this YouTube video. This is 8 apps that you should never download. And this is from a channel that I've done before called Bizarre Bubs. So let's check this out.
There's no doubt that there are thousands of phone applications out there. And although most are made for killing time or making our lives a bit easier, there are some apps out there that are pretty creepy. From a sinister application disguised as a child's app, to an app that sends very chilling messages. Here are 8 scary apps that are too creepy to download. An application disguised as a child's app says something very chilling. Jane Dia, mother of Samantha Higgins, overheard a demonic-like voice coming from her 7-year-old daughter's room. Startled by this, she checks on her daughter and notices that the voice is coming from an app on her phone. The application was called Call Blaze in the Monster Machines 2018, and, as the name implies, the application's main demographic are children. So, as you can guess, this was very unsettling for Dia. How can an app made for children be so scary? However, what's even more frightening are the things said by this app. After going through various ads, the user or child is shown a button that can be pressed to make a phone call to a fictional character. Upon pressing this button, the application simulates a phone call being made. And as one would expect, the call would be picked up by an innocent, lighthearted character. However, this happens instead.
Hi kids, I'm your new friend. Happy, slappy, whatever you want me to be called. You see, I want to play with you, kiddo. Maybe we could perform some fun games together. What's this, hogwash? You look afraid. Is it this knife in my whirly-turly hands? Making you a little nervous, huh? That's all right, 'cause this knife is gonna improve your look when it's sticking right out of you.
Oh, wow.
Hearing this as a child is bound to give you nightmares, which is what happened to Samantha.
Yeah, no shit.
It was only after news about this that Google decided to pull this off their app store. And although it's no longer available, that doesn't mean you still can't download apps just like this one. Because there's so many applications, you're more than likely to find apps like the one downloaded by Samantha. Of course, getting scared and possibly getting a virus are things you should consider first before downloading.
Another thing that you should probably do before downloading an app is look at how many reviews it has and how high the reviews are. I mean, I always look at that. Because that's crazy for little kids.
Number 7. Ever
here we
wanted to
go.
receive messages from your favorite
Chills.
artist? Well, there's an app for that. However, some users have reported receiving strange messages, most of which are pretty creepy. MyDull is a texting simulator app that allows the user to chat with a chatbot named after an idol or celebrity based on the user's preference. The list of artists you can choose from is mostly composed of K-pop singers. However, regardless of which singer you choose, you'll most likely get sent a chilling message by the so-called chatbot. In one instance, someone received a text threatening to give the user's phone a virus, and in another case, someone jokingly talked about dying and received a message back encouraging the user to do so.
That doesn't sound like a bot.
These are just some of the many reports about this chilling app. Critics have even questioned the chatbot itself, thinking that some replies might actually be coming from a human. Some replies, as many people have noticed, are too similar to responses made by an actual person. Hackers might be a possible explanation for this, but no one knows for sure. Whether it's a hacker or not, the responses are nonetheless odd and very creepy.
Yeah, what's this world coming to? That's some crazy shit.
You've probably heard of Japanese dolls and wondered how these beautiful crafts are made. Well, if you're interested in making one, then check out SOTA tete ninhon ningyu, which translates to raise a Japanese doll. However, you won't be making any ordinary doll. Rather, you'll be making a doll that's been cursed and doused in the blood of innocent people. Plus, you can also
I'm sorry,
level up
that's
by
just
lighting
wrong.
candles and using them to burn the doll's heart. Leveling up will transform your doll's appearance, making it look different than its previous transformation. However, as it evolves, its next appearance could be very haunting. But by far the scariest thing about this game are the times in which the doll gets very close to the screen as it bends reality, turning its environment into a hellish scene. The game has elements like those found in Tamagotchi or Digimon, which makes this game somewhat fun to play with. However, unlike those games, this one will most likely keep you up at night, not because it's addicting, but because of the app's haunting imagery.
People are just, they're always looking for something more and more and more extreme. I don't know, are we getting desensitized or what's going on? I'll just stick to my, watching a horror movie every once in a while or something like that. But it doesn't, I don't understand why it needs to be that extreme.
Number 5. No app can get any more morbid than this. RIP VIP notifies you of someone who just passed away. In other words, if someone just died, you would be notified of their death. The concept is so simple yet very creepy. Just imagine receiving a text notifying you that someone you knew just died. Obviously, it would be very unsettling to be notified of such thing. Of course, receiving texts about strangers who just died is also discomforting. As for the type of people who get reported, it's usually those who are famous or that have done something significant, so don't worry, you won't be getting a message for every single person that dies. That would definitely make the app less appealing.
Yeah, no shit. All of a sudden you get a text saying your sister just died or your mother just died or something like that. I'll just look for it in the newspaper or I'll see it on the news or on YouTube.
Aside from this app being very strange, it's received lots of good ratings. So if you're into morbid things like being notified of deceased individuals, then go ahead and check this out.
I'll pass.
Who knew that an app made for a completely different purpose could be so scary? Sleep recording apps have not only been used to monitor one's sleep, but also for recording strange and often creepy things that happen at night. Although someone who has this app might have no intention of capturing something paranormal, they more often than not do.
Okay, couldn't it just be the person talking in their sleep? I mean, I think I talk in my sleep.
As you can imagine, it would be very haunting to hear a voice you've never heard before. It's ironic that an app made for helping people sleep can lead to sleepless nights. So, if you're fine with never sleeping again, then check out one of the many sleep recording apps available in the market.
I don't think I'd bother with it. I have set my camera up before while I slept just to see if anything happened, and then I went through it and there was really nothing there. But that was a long time ago too, and yeah, I didn't experience anything that I'm aware of.
Number 3. If you've ever bought a used phone, then perhaps you should be concerned. There have been some cases where people have claimed that their phones were recording them without their consent, and those same people later found out that a spyware app had been installed on their phone. There are many spyware apps available in the market, So there isn't just one specific app that you should be concerned about. But what makes this scary is that such app may have been pre-installed and disguised on used phones, making it impossible for the user to find out. In Find My iPhone, a short documentary in which filmmaker Anthony Vandermeer tracks his stolen phone, we're shown how easy it is for someone to track and monitor strangers through an app. Before having his phone stolen, Anthony had installed a spyware application. Later, after having his phone taken by a stranger, he was able to see the exact coordinates of his perpetrator's location. But most chilling of all, he was able to use his phone's camera to record the thief. Knowing this, it makes you wonder if someone might be watching you right now. Perhaps the best thing to do is to factory reset your phone just to be safe, especially if you bought a used one.
Okay, first of all, I'd never buy a used phone. I would just rather have a new one. And I'd rather just go get a cheap $50 one if I had to. I mean, I got a good phone now. I got a Samsung, but yeah, I had a phone stolen of mine once. It was just one of those shitty Windows phones. But yeah, it's like a $50 phone. But yeah, I'd never buy a used phone.
There's an app that lets strangers do weird things to you. Situationist is an app in which lets you choose a task that a stranger must do upon meeting you. The stranger who also has this app will receive this task, and with the help of a built-in radar, will try their best to find you to perform their objective.
Okay, that's just creepy.
From complimenting your hair to searching the contents of your bag, there are many tasks you can choose from. Although this sounds like a fun way to meet new people, it does seem a bit unsafe to meet those you've never met before. It's even more dangerous to have strangers do certain things that can lead to criminal activity such as theft, which can occur if the task is to have someone check your bag or backpack. The fact that there's a feature that allows you to report any behavior deemed inappropriate just shows you how dangerous this is. But if you aren't creeped out by having some stranger check your personal belongings, then check this out.
Number 1.
Man, that would be like a sex offender or a pedophile's paradise. That app. That shouldn't be on. That shouldn't be in the App Store. That's crazy.
This may just be one of the creepiest apps one can get. With Me is an app that allows you to take pictures with dead relatives. Pretty morbid, right? However, what makes this even more chilling is the fact that your loved one will have its own animated avatar that you can use to take photos with. Similar to the technology used in Pokemon Go, the app will scan your relative's body when they're alive and create a virtual copy of them on your phone. After having done this, they're able to interact and pose for photos as though they were still alive. Of course, before dying, they must give their consent for you to do this. Although this seems wrong, the company has its reasons for making such an app. The purpose of this app is to help those who are having trouble coping with the death of a loved one. Whether it's right or wrong, it's still creepy. And it does seem pretty strange to have a copy of someone who just died on your phone. It would be interesting to see
right
something
next
like
to
this
you.
used in VR technology, but that would be very unsettling.
Okay, that's just too weird for me. Oh, that's really, really weird. So if I would have had a picture, or if when my dad was alive and they had that app out there, I could have them take a picture of my dad with his arm around me or something like that, and then I could, or with his arm out or something, and then years later, when I'm older, like the same age as him in that picture, I'd be standing there next to him. That is weird. That is really weird. That's 8 scariest apps to never get. That's from the channel Bizarre Bub. I like this channel. If you haven't checked it out, they got a lot of really cool videos on there. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought of that. Like, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, and all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time.